First, two Iranian-backed missiles in the Middle East say they are prepared to launch new attacks as a US aircraft carrier arrives in the region. Yemen's Houthi rebels have hinted that they are ready now to resume strikes on the Red Sea, on shipping there, while Kataib Hezbollah of Iraq has also suggested it could strike American interests. This comes after Donald Trump has threatened to take military action against Iran, that in response to the deadly crackdown on protesters in the country. With me is Philip Turle, our foreign editor, to talk about all of this. So let's talk about this this carrier, Philip, the USS Lincoln. It's on its way to the Middle East. What do we know about it? Why is it there? What are its plans?
Okay, so it's the Abraham Lincoln. It's a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, believe it or not, Nadia. It has a flight deck of 5 acres, which means that it can carry a lot of material. There's also a submarine with 150 Tomahawk missiles. There are 3 destroyers, F-35 fighter jets and air defense systems all making their way to the region. They have cut off their geolocalization ability to keep it secret where exactly they are, but many of them are coming from the South China Sea over the past week or so. This is really a show of strength by Donald Trump in the face of the Iranian regime following the clampdown on protesters over the past few days. That clampdown still apparently going on behind the scenes where protesters are being killed in the prisons and also in the hospitals where they're being treated by the regime. So it's a bid by Donald Trump to increase the pressure on the Iranian regime, not to install democracy. And I don't really think Donald Trump wants to go ahead and launch an attack. But what he's trying to achieve is 3 things. First of all, he wants to end the nuclear program in Iran. That is, I think, his main concern. Remember that we had a 12-day war last year in June with Israel, where they said that most of Iran's nuclear facilities have been destroyed, but it's still unclear exactly what remains and how much uranium that Iran still has. The second point is to destroy the ballistic missile production in Iran, and the third one is to delete and deplete its proxies so that it doesn't have so much influence in the region. We've already seen Hezbollah, which has been damaged, and also the Houthi rebels, despite what they've been saying, as you've just been reporting in the last few minutes, that they were ready to attack US bases in the region. They have been seriously undermined. Iran has also lost the Syrian regime of Bashar al-Assad. So Donald Trump thinks that this is the right time to go in there to sign a deal, as he's been saying to the news website Axios, saying Iran is ready to sign a deal. We don't really know what that means, signing a deal with a ruthless regime like the one in Tehran. But I think the backup of all this military armada is to put pressure on the Iranian regime, saying, sign the deal, get it over with, let's work something together. Otherwise, we could unleash firepower on you.
But when it comes to Donald Trump sort of trying to pressure Iran like this, one of the challenges for the administration is the number of its allies in the Middle East don't actually want their countries to be used as a launching pad for any of these kind of attacks, do they?
So that's one of the problems that Donald Trump has got to face. You're right. Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar have all said they don't really want to use their countries, or they won't let the US use their countries as bases to launch strikes on Iran, because they don't want Iran to launch strikes into their country. There's also the threat that Iran could launch attacks into Israel, which is something the United States doesn't want either. There's another problem for Donald Trump, and that is we don't know where all this is going to lead. First of all, Donald Trump is in an election year with the midterms coming up in November. He doesn't want to get launched into a war that doesn't end, and where the United States could be dragged into a long-term conflict in the Middle East. That's the first point. And the second point is, it's not even sure that if Donald Trump is to knock out the regime in Tehran, the Iranian regime, he would be able afterwards to install another regime or government that would be favourable to the United States. So there may be also reason to concern for Donald Trump that it's probably better to deal with the regime that's already in power. Forget about the protesters, forget about democracy. We're not going there for them. We're going there to obtain a deal which is going to look favourable for the United States and for Donald Trump, and hopefully walk away with a region that is slightly less under the threat of action by the Iranian regime.
All right, Philip Turle, thank you very much.